I'm pregnant.
Hi friends, welcome back. I have some exciting news. A lot of you may already know, but I'm finally sharing it with YouTube and everyone else who doesn't know. So I am pregnant officially, and I am thrilled. I'm so excited. We are so excited. We were actually going to start trying because, as some of you know, and I have a video, I think it was one of my first videos, if not my first, that actually talks about my miscarriage that I had in 2022. I never really went into full details about how that went down, but I will make a video about that someday. It had been about a year since I had the miscarriage confirmed, and we had decided we were gonna start trying again. So we were gonna start trying in November, so that the due date could be in August, because we have like 10 birthdays in July and our wedding anniversary as well. But then I never got my period in November. I was already pregnant. So yeah, that happened, and we were excited, surprised, because we were still avoiding it till that point. But it all worked out. It was nice, I guess, to not have to stress about trying, because I know how stressful that can be for people. So I guess that was a bonus. But yeah, we are very excited. I'm absolutely thrilled. I love being pregnant despite the aches and pains, because I have horrendous back pain when I'm pregnant because of my history with osteoarthritis and herniated disc in my lower back. So from the very beginning, from like being 6 weeks pregnant, I already get this pain that's really bad and can be debilitating at times. But I am doing all the treatments, and hopefully things will get under control. But aside from that, I do love it. I love the changes my body goes through. I love to see my belly growing, and I just love the feeling of growing life inside of me. So I'm very, very excited. But in saying that, I'm also extremely anxious, and I've been trying to just trust my body and just let things go as they are going to go, because we don't have control over everything. But given the fact that I only found out when I was 20 weeks pregnant, or when I went for my anatomy scan, which would have been at my 20 weeks, that I had the miscarriage, that definitely affected me and my trust within myself. So it's different this time. Seeing the positive on the test definitely hit different. Well, for one, last time we weren't trying, so there was the shock of that. This time it was exciting because we're gonna start trying anyways, but also really surprising because I was not expecting it to have already happened when it did. But also just worried that, is this gonna be a pregnancy that's gonna go till term? Am I gonna have another miscarriage? I know it can happen. I work in labor and delivery and postpartum as a nurse, some of you know. So I see this happening all throughout the gestation, including full term of 40 weeks. So I know it's there, it's always a possibility, but I'm just trying to stay positive and calm, and just doing all the things that I can, and really listening to my body, and just, hoping for the best. I am now 14 weeks pregnant, and so far everything's going really well. I had another appointment yesterday with my midwife, heard the baby's heart, and yeah, so far everything is good. So fingers crossed that this one is it, and it sticks, and we get to welcome our baby into the world in July, in the summer, which I'm really excited about, because last time I was pregnant, I would have been due in January 13th. So around the same time as I'm filming this, and right now it's so cloudy outside, and cloudy outside every single day. It's just raining and snowing and just not very nice. So I'm very excited that I'm due in the summer. I'm wearing a summer dress, and you may be wondering why, but I love dresses, and I'm inside, my house is warm, so I like to wear dresses and pretend that it's summer outside, even though we have a long way to go. I feel extremely blessed and lucky that I was able to get pregnant even before we were officially trying, because I know how many people suffer with infertility and even getting pregnant. So I know that in itself is a good thing, and just hoping this time everything goes well. Until we got pregnant, I had, or even before I got pregnant the first time, I had been tracking my cycle on the Flow app. It's like a free app. You can pay if you want to upgrade, but the free version was enough for me. Eventually I did upgrade because they had a really good deal for a year, but free version was totally fine, and that's what I used to track different signs to see when I was fertile and to avoid getting pregnant until we were ready to. And it worked for the most part, because we did get pregnant a month before. But in saying that, one of the things that I think contributed to me getting the dates off wrong that past month was I actually got this easy at-home fertility tracking, pregnancy helping thing from Amazon, and it comes with tons of ovulation pea sticks, as well as like 20 pregnancy sticks. It's really affordable too, maybe about, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks. And then you get this app, you pee on the stick every day, twice a day at some point, and then you take a picture of it and you put it in the app, and then it tells you when you were ovulating. And what the instructions say is that once you get to the darkest line, you're going to ovulate 24 to 48 hours from that day, and then it gets lighter afterwards. So I decided to test this system out in October, because I was like, we're going to try for real in November. I want to make sure I know how to use this and make sure that it is actually adding up with what the Flow app says. I peed on the ovulation sticks and it got darker at one point, and then it started getting lighter again. So I was like, okay, so that was the peak, which means I'm ovulating 24 to 48 hours after this. So that would have been cycle day 17, I believe, which is usually on average when I do ovulate, when the Flow app has been saying, and what I have been going by. So my cycles are usually a little bit longer. They're 32, 33, sometimes 34 days long. So that's what I went with. And I did take pictures of the sticks and put in the app, but I wasn't like too familiar with the app yet, so I wasn't super sure how to use it. But just by going off the instructions, and that it says when it peaks, you ovulate 24 to 48 hours after that, I assumed, okay, then ovulating day 17 adds up. But then after I found out I was pregnant, I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. So I went back in the app, and when I opened it, even though I took pictures, and even though the darkest one should have said I ovulated on day 17, in the app it said I ovulated on day 19, which is much later than usual. But if that actually was the case, then that explains why I got pregnant when I did. Either way, I'm glad it worked out and got pregnant. Didn't really have to use the rest of the kit. But what happened was, it was actually my birthday weekend. I had a party with my friends, and luckily I was just like not really into drinking, so I had 2 glasses of wine and just didn't feel like having any more. And then the next day I realized, oh, I still haven't gotten my period. I thought I would have gotten it for my birthday weekend. You know, it's just a day late. Sometimes it happens, like I said, sometimes my cycles are a little bit longer. But because I had 20 pregnancy tests in this little kit, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a test. This was like 10 minutes before I had to leave to go to work for a 12-hour night shift. So I just go pee on the stick, totally expecting it to be negative, getting ready for work, and then just look, and I was just like so shocked, absolutely blown away. I was like, no, this makes no sense, this can't be. So I went and I got the box, and I'm looking at the instructions again. I'm like, this can't be right. So I took a picture of the test, and I took a picture of the instructions, and I sent it to my best friend, and I was like, am I reading this wrong? And she was like, holy shit, you're pregnant. I was like, oh my god, what? Like, so happy, but also just so like, how did this happen? Like, I know how it happened, but I just was not expecting him. So had to go to work, and that was not a good shift, because I just had this thing going on in my personal life, in my head, and when you're at the hospital, there's so much going on and you have to just be focused on that. So it sucked not being able to take this in and talk to my husband. So the next morning when he picked me up from work, I was like, guess what? So yesterday I took a test because my period didn't come for a day, and then he looks at me and he's like, you're pregnant? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh my god. So that's how it happened and how we found out. And yeah, like, aside from that, everything's been pretty routine. I got one cute picture. I got another one. Doesn't really look like a baby in that one yet. But I got this picture here. You can kind of see it looks like a little baby. And yeah, so thank you for tuning in. I will be documenting the pregnancy and just everything that happens with this, and my symptoms and appointments and cravings and what I eat, because as you know, I love cooking, so there'll definitely be lots of food content as well in relation to pregnancy stuff. And if you are interested in any of those things, I hope you will stick around, subscribe, and follow us on this journey of welcoming a baby in the Canadian summer in July. Thanks for sticking around. Till next time. Bye-bye.